Hey there, we are back again live from Spirit Fest USA here in Chantilly, Virginia, the Dulles Expo Center. And we're going around looking for the most interesting people on the show to bring them to you so that we can help you to decide whether or not to come here, because you should come here.
Turns out they're all the most interesting people.
Absolutely. And with us today is a very interesting guy, because what he does is going to make you go, what? And have you come in. So, John Napolitano, we've known you for a little bit, but why don't you tell everyone what you are doing here?
Sure. Thank you for having me. I really appreciate it. So I'm a Galactic Akashic reader.
Galactic Akashic reader.
Now, I've heard of Galactic, I've heard of Akashic, but not together.
Yeah, it's something that I didn't realize was actually a thing up until a couple of years ago. So I started my spiritual awakening several years ago. And as I started to learn more about it and learn more about myself, I took classes. Weird things started happening. I would actually, in meditations, aliens would actually come up to me in my vision while awake, and we would be looking at each other. And I remember it the first time, and I see this gray alien face just looking at me, and it's like two guys looking at each other. I said, do you have anything for me? Do you have any messages? I'm trying to give them the benefit of the doubt, because we all know about the grays.
Yeah. So which is where I'm going next, but go ahead.
So he left because I told him to go. A couple weeks later, he comes back to me, same thing. Then about a week after that, I had this dream where, actually, I'm sorry, it was right before I fell asleep. It was a download, and I'm sure you've had the downloads before. Flashing, all these different things going on, and it's like I see pictures of war-torn cityscapes, documents, like almost like those classified documents, but they're all in different languages I don't know. Mm-hmm. So the next night I'm in class, I asked my teacher, I'm like, I keep getting this alien coming to me. I saw these, like, I saw something about Orion, and she's like, you're an extraterrestrial, right? I'm like, whoa, that's a thing? That's real? She's like, you are a starseed. I'm like, I don't even know what that means. She's like, welcome to the club. You're going to find out soon. And from there, I just started to learn more about the galactic realm, the history. I started taking a course on the Galactic Akashic Records, and then I became attuned to it. I found myself hopping frequencies during the night while I slept. And then one night I found myself on an Arcturian training vessel, and they're throwing people in front of me, and they're like, hey, who's this guy? So I get instant downloads. I see their life, Syrian, vegan, angelic, all these different lives coming in front of me. And I asked to see the Arcturian boss. I'm like, they basically abducted me. I know they're the good guys, but they're like, we want to know more about you. So
it was a good abduction.
It was a good abduction. It's like,
no
there are some out there. So
right.
They tell me, it's like, you are here to help others. You're here. You don't need the pathway prayers or anything like that. You're part of the new breed of Akashic readers out there. And what started to happen after that is I can look at people's energies, I can see them, and I start getting downloads of where they came from. This is not just in the sleep realm, but in the waking realm.
Now, you're not talking about you come from Jersey, right?
Sometimes. You've had a past life in Jersey, and we don't even want to talk about that.
I want to take like 50 steps back here real quick. You're meditating, and there's this gray face in front of you. How did you not freak out?
Yeah.
Well,
I mean, wasn't it scary a little bit?
Yeah, Shades of Communion. I don't know if you read the book Communion, but Whitley Strieber wrote about this thing where in hypnosis it came out that he would wake up in the middle of the night and he saw like a gray face looking out from behind the bureau and or his dresser, and as soon as the gray realized he was awake, it went from here to shoom, like that really fast. So, and the picture of the gray on the cover, it gave me nightmares. I read it when I was in college, and my college roommate to this day won't talk to me because I have to sleep with the light on for 2 weeks.
I read it in high school, and the same thing. My mom came in, and she's like, honey, you've been sleeping with the light on every day this week. I'm like, oh, it's aliens.
Well, so here's the thing is now that I've reflected on my life and I remember, I have been abducted before.
Oh.
So I remember as a child, I was abducted. My sister and I, twin sister, we were abducted together as children. And then I remember years later, as a little bit older as a child, I remember feeling the energies of like aliens outside my window. And that's when I realized, like, what is going on? And so
So was
What
it
yeah.
was it scary or was it like
Well, back
nice
then it was
aliens?
scary.
Yeah,
back then it was scary.
I would be freaking out.
Yeah.
Like,
Now when I saw this a couple of years ago, when this alien came to me, I was trying to give him the benefit of the doubt. It's like,
Mhm.
if you have something positive for me, that's all I'm taking in right
Yeah.
now. I'm not taking it. Well, with them, it's very neutral, so it's very difficult to actually figure out what their energies were. Now, the second time it came to me, I actually had some disturbing dreams that evening. And I think what I realized is that it was actually trying to knock me off my course. I had a connection to the Orion realm, to the Greys, from past lives fighting against them in the Pleiades as a soldier.
Mhm.
And what happened was they were realizing I was starting to have my own galactic awakening, not just spiritual awakening, but galactic spiritual awakening.
wow.
And I was going into those, and they knew, because time is different, that soon I would actually step into that power. And then they were trying their best to take me off of it. What they didn't realize that is when somebody presents a challenge to me in this life, I say challenge accepted. That's just how I do it. So,
Right.
and
Right.
I reflected on it a year after when I started to teach about the galactic realm. It was 1 year pretty much 1 year from the day that that alien came to me and was trying to knock me off.
Wow. That's
So then when you read galactic Akashic records of someone, like someone comes to the show today, for example, they can sit down with you and you can give them a reading. How does that work? Like, do you say, oh, you are from Wisconsin, or but
Pleiadian, Wisconsin.
Polaris.
Right.
Yeah,
There are the Polaris. Yes, actually, there's a lady next to me. She's a tarot reader from Polaris. I just haven't told her yet.
Oh wow.
But generally, what happens is as I start, so she's from Vega right there. So what happens is as I start seeing people, and then sometimes it's just focusing on their energy, or even looking at them real quick, I just start getting a download of where they come from. It depends on how open their higher self is. So I don't drink too much anymore. I don't drink anymore, but other times I'd be at a bar and I'd see somebody. I'm like, there's a Syrian, there's a Pleiadian. We went to lunch the other day at a local brewery, and I was sitting there, and an entire family came, and I'm looking at them, seeing Syrian, Vegan, kids Pleiadian. So there are other childs from the fairy realm, because I also pick up on angelic and fairies. So what I'm realizing here, she's fairy. So
Yeah,
what I'm noticing,
I can tell you that.
Yeah. So today,
What
yeah. So I was hoping. Well, you're an angel, of course. You're from the Daal universe.
Daal?
Are you the Daal? Daal. So they're a different universe, and they actually came in, and they came. What happens is so the Daal universe. I'll step back. Is essentially almost like a mirror universe to ours. So what's light is dark. What's dark is light. There.
That
And-
explains so much.
but it's not like the mirror universe from Star Trek where they're all evil. and they're
yeah,
trying
I was gonna say,
Yeah.
John, come on, man.
So these guys are actually very similar. They look very similar to the Pleiadians, and they were explorers in their own universe. And some of them came here by accident. Like they were able to open a portal from one universe to another, like a bridge, and they came through and they got stuck here.
Oh, so
then-
you're saying I'm stuck?
You're stuck. You're very stuck.
Oh,
but
lovely.
you
Stuck
enjoy
with
it.
me,
You
baby.
settled on it. So they settled on a planet in Aldebaran. That's near the Pleiades constellation.
Ah.
So that's where originally you came from. But when you came to Earth, you also have had many lives in the fairy realm as well.
Oh,
See that
Wow.
I believe too.
you call me fairy?
Yes.
A good-
Okay.
Yep.
All right, that's good.
That's a compliment.
And then you settled. You were from the angelic realm, but you've also had a life in Vega as well. So I'm seeing very blue skin on you. Let me see what were you doing in Vega. So I'm seeing jewelry. You were covered in jewelry. So you're almost like this shamanista of a Vegan.
Ooh,
I
yeah.
like that.
Is everyone from somewhere else, or are the people who are just Earthlings?
So as I've seen in the records, there are soul groups, like soul group consciousness, that generally go into a region. So you do have the human group consciousness, and those are made up of primarily human souls. But what ended up happening, and then you have your Lyrans, your Vegans, even Pleiadians that never incarnated back in Vega or anything like that. They just waited. Their soul group waited for Pleiades to start taking shape and get more populations, just like Sirius as well. So what happened on Earth, though, is that once Earth was discovered and they brought up the humanity and the Galactic Federation, the other worlds, Arcturians, Pleiadians, Sirians, came to Earth to help the ascension process and help humans and the human group consciousness become part of the Galactic Brotherhood and the Federation and all that, and join their community. Well, that was what ended up happening was a lot of the galactic beings, like myself, like yourselves, came in and incarnated as starseeds to help the ascension process as a human itself. And then what ended up going on was there was a fall essentially from grace, and we get that from a lot of these different scriptures and books like that. But what I've seen in the records is essentially corruption within Atlantis caused the destruction of Lemuria as well, and humanity fell from the fifth dimension into the third dimension. And essentially many of these galactic beings ended up deciding, okay, we interfered, we were trying to interfere in a good way, but it ended up getting corrupted. We need to leave planet, we need to go and only help as like channelers and star seeds and light workers incarnating on Earth to help bring up the ascension process in a slow and meaningful manner.
So someone comes to you and they get this reading and they get all of this incredible information. What then do they do with it? How can knowing this be helpful?
Well, the reason why I'm here to do this is because I want to help others just understand. Some of them, some people know that they just didn't belong. They've always had that fascination. They looked up at the stars. They felt alien in their own world. Others just need to understand that they are special and that they are not only a galactic being, but they're also a spiritual being. And they're just having this human experience. So each person has their own reasons, and some other people they know that they might be galactic or they have special powers or anything like that. Like they have abilities, but there might be blockages. So I've worked with a woman who she had a blockage from a vegan life. And we were able to essentially work together to activate that power so that she can bring it into this dimension of Earth.
Wow. John, you got to write a book about this stuff, right?
I'm working on it.
Okay, let's get this, because this sounds fascinating.
Like a documentary would be good.
Both, right?
Yeah, do you guys know any filmmakers?
As a matter of fact, John.
I know a few right here.
Well, it's very cool.
That's awesome.
Now this, obviously you're here at the show. People can come to the show and book you for a reading and all that kind of stuff. But you can do this from anywhere, right? So anyone who's anywhere around the world, if you're watching this, you're listening to this right now, and you want to have a galactic reading, how does someone do that? How does someone reach out to you?
Sure. Well, go to my site, galactic-guidance.com. And you can check out a little bit more about my story. I channeled an entire page of galactic history. I was only going to do a small blurb, and then 3 days later, writing literally 7 to 9 hours a day.
It's not always
I channeled the entire history from what I've learned, but also reaffirming. So channeled history on there, and then there's about 20 or so different teaser videos from past readings I've done with some like AI video and AR on there, so to kind of add to that entertainment. But what I want to do is help others learn about their own past and empower them. So check it out. If you feel inclined and you feel the energy to get a reading, that would be amazing. If you want to just see what the history is and learn from others, from their experiences, I implore you to do so as well.
Oh, this is fascinating stuff.
It's great. Makes it easy. You can dip your toes in a little bit, or you can just dive right in.
Right.
Exactly.
That's awesome. I think we might know someone that could help you write that book in terms of getting the time to do it, right?
Oh, yes. We have a time bender.
Right.
Well, we know a time bender.
I could always use that.
We'll talk.
I feel like I'm always chasing the clock. Like
Yes.
I'm the white rabbit. I'm always looking at my clock. I'm late.
This is the guy that can help you.
Yeah.
We'll get you connected. The guy's amazing. John, really great to see you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for coming and allowing us to interview you.
No, thank you.
And
Appreciate it.
if you are all interested in learning your galactic origins, it's a fascinating process. I had no idea. I was not from this world. I mean, I guess I did, but
yeah,
you know,
I could have
not
told you
have-
that.
but we really appreciate you.
Yeah.
It's a pleasure having you. And
We're the Skeptic Metaphysicians, and you're watching this on newrealitytv.com.
yep. We will rejoin now for our regularly scheduled programming already in progress.